Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly world session. I'm Terryann, and we're going to do something pretty serious today. If you don't want to do this kind of work, you're going to be able to just leave. Okay, so what we're going to do today is work on traumas of big life events, not I was traumatized by, my parents criticizing me, or, I didn't like my job and they annoyed me. We don't want to do that kind of thing. We're doing huge moments today that actually transform how we perceived our lives, etc. This can be being disowned by parents, family member, right? We can be betrayed, a deep betrayal. There can be, let's say, divorce, illness, accidents, getting a step parent, right? A whole new parent in your life. It can be major moves like immigration, whether it's countries or for some people it's neighborhoods. You have to leave one place and go to another neighborhood when you're a child. That can be hugely traumatic. There's death. You could say birth is a big moment, but if somebody is born ill, so that really goes into illness. Okay, and illness accidents, I think that's good. You can feel into these big moments. We want to work with the whole fascial system, but also the brain and these automated responses through the brainstem and into the amygdala complex and the hippocampus for the memories and then subsequent memories that are filtered, that are clouded. There's this sort of network on top of memories, or of the memories on top of present circumstances. So let's say I see the present circumstance. I've done everything appropriately. I've rationalized everything, but I am still in trauma at this decision, even though I've made sure everything is appropriate, but I'm still traumatized by this decision. Those are the things we want out of the way, especially when you know in your head. So that you can be two types of experiences. One is you can be freaking out about a situation in the present that is related to the past, but you project it onto the present and you believe that it's happening again. All right, so but you can also have a secondary way of looking at it. You're projecting it. The body is going through the same experience, but in your brain, rationally, you go, but this isn't happening at all. I've made sure that everything is covered. It's not going to happen again. It'll happen maybe differently. Maybe you miss something, but it is not the same moment. All right. So we can freak out about that. So you can be super aware of it. I don't know which is better, quite frankly. I'm just helping you to see different ways of looking at it. This could be very unconscious or conscious, or you just know you're way too freaked out about something. That's a trauma that is in the body that just keeps coming back. So I only gave two variations on how you could look at it. You might have a mixture. You think you're justified for the action, or you kind of go, but it also reminds me of that event in my life, that terrible event. And you're not quite sure about what's going on. That's fine too. I'm just trying to find ways to help you recognize. Now, even as I'm doing that and feeling into it, I'm already feeling a relaxation in the nervous system. So take a nice deep breath, locate that traumatic moment. Just going to help you out. I'm doing one that's personally involved with an extreme betrayal by a family member, and it completely in one moment, one fell moment, it transformed my entire life, my entire perception of my world. All right, so those kind of moments that can occur. And remember, it can be a divorce. It could be your parent brings in a new adult in the house and they're living with you. You've got a step parent and now you're, what? What's happening to me? It can be all of a sudden your parent doesn't like your decision and they disown you, right? There are huge traumas as well when, say, a parent writes a will and doesn't put one of the children in the will, just leaves that child out. Yeah, I think you've got it. Can I see some nods in my group as to whether it's clear? In the group, are you feeling it happening? You're feeling it moving? Okay. Well, what if you're not feeling it in the brain stem? We're just going to move that up. So this session is really to support Kundalini movement. That is the life force energy moving into the body. We want it to happen slowly. We don't want anything rapid. But when it gets to the areas you're focusing on, you might have many. Please try and choose one. Okay, keep to one. And then if that one feels like it goes, you can focus on another one. But just for today, just one. And then you could re-listen to this another time and do another one. Then re-listen another time and do another one. But today, let's just focus on one. So we're really accessing the brainstem to the memory center to the hippocampus. Hippocampus is memory center to your amygdala. Remember, the amygdala, every time we go through something fearful, something traumatic, it starts to create more and more connections, like a big network. We don't want that network huge in the brain. Then you're responding with fear, rage response, and it's not based in reality. The amygdala, when we are afraid for our lives, it will respond for us. Why does it do that? Give you a moment to think of why. So when a car is coming at you, you don't want to stand there going, what should I do? Should I jump? Should I lie down? What should I do? No, you want your amygdala to take over and get you out of the way. Same with a lion, same with any one of these events. You want the amygdala to take over. The problem with modern day life is all of the experiences that are fearful, the amygdala starts to take over. Think about that. We're jumping out of the way of an insult. Who needs to do that? Someone insults you, you are not in danger. You're moving out of the way of somebody criticizing you or you viewing that as a criticism. Do you really want to make decisions based on that? Who cares? Who cares if somebody is criticizing you? And if you have a problem with that and you can't do who cares, then it's time for you to do Atma Vicharya or self-inquiry. You can find courses all over the place. I do bi-weekly sessions. You could do them with other people. Just, figure out a place you can go to get yourself out of somebody just insulting you or criticizing you. Now, by the way, I still get triggered by that. When the moment I believe someone's criticizing me in a certain way, if you call me stupid, I don't care. But if you intimate that I'm doing something wrong, then I think, oh, what do you think? I'm stupid? Those kinds of things are still alive. So we want to make sure those are getting out of the way. But that's not what we're working with today. We're working with things that actually had such an impact, it shocked our systems and we got major trauma and then we react that way. Not all the little things that bother us that are partly in our filter system, or they could be linked to difficult times as well. So I'm not going to do that either today. We really want the core to go so the rest starts to drop away and then you can do extra work. So nice deep breath. We're just going to bring in a little bit more Kundalini to rise. If you start shaking, that's part of all this. You can start shaking. That is the Kundalini moving, things being pulled out. Or as I'm experiencing it, I'm feeling some burning. Okay, so nice deep breath and relax. And we're just going to let it rise slowly, only to where your brain allows it. And just kind of think of letting go of all of the memories that are affiliated with it. Okay. So we're just going to lock down the Kundalini now. And if it wants to go and seek out more areas again, that'll be fine. But you'll need to kind of talk to your body and say, I'm going to go do that session again and keep burning out these traumas. So it'll be posted sometime tomorrow. I'm not sure I can get to it today, but you can use this as often as you like. Okay, love you all. Have a great week and see you next week. I hope we all come back with a little bit more of a clean brain. Bye.